It's Friday, May 26th, and time for your Barbados Today morning news update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Our top story at this hour, it's facing stiff opposition locally for insisting taxpayers obtain tax clearance certificates to do a range of financial transactions. But the government is getting support for the move from a senior tax consultant with one of the world's leading accounting firms. Partner in the local offices of the United States headquartered Audit, Tax and Advisory Company of KPMG, Wayne Lovell, tells Barbadians the measure is not as bad as it's being made out to be. The Barbados Bar Association and the opposition Barbados Labour Party have condemned the new policy, which took effect in March under the amended Barbados Revenue Authority Act, which requires individuals and corporations to be fully paid up on all their statutory obligations. But Lovell suggests it's much ado about nothing.
Generally speaking, it is another measure that the government has embarked on. I don't think it is as horrible as it may appear. I understand that the legislation took effect from the 16th of March, so transactions that had commenced before the 16th of March would not be exposed to this. But after the 16th of March, yes. Maybe we should give it a little time to see if it's really as cumbersome as some people are making it out to be.
And while admitting that there needs to be more dialogue when these types of measures are being implemented, Lovell says the lack of prior discussion did not detract from its usefulness.
The concern I have regarding a lot of these measures has always been enforcement, because the country seems to have a problem with enforcing laws. We have a lot of laws, but how they are enforced, because it still appears that a tremendous amount of people escape the net.
Meantime, the head of the Barbados Estate Agents and Valuers Association says members of the public are already finding it difficult to sell property, and the current requirement for a tax clearance certificate is making the process even more difficult. Paul Arlene was responding to recent statements by the Barbados Bankers Association that they have been forced to suspend transactions worth an estimated $200 million due to a lack of clarity over the issuance of such certificates.
We have seen happen so far is there are some persons who may have been selling their property because, say they're not well, they may be ill, and they may need money to say have an operation. Those kind of persons often, because they're under financial pressure, may have fallen behind on their obligations to the government. Now, when someone like that now goes to sell, they may find that they can't because they owe the government, they may owe VAT or they might owe income tax. So now they're told, well, they have to pay 10% and then enter into a payment plan to pay the rest. And in some cases, those people say, well, I owe too much money, so I'm just not going to sell at all. I'll do something else, find the money somewhere else. So from that side of it, to us, it's an infringement on people's several liberties, and also how it affects the market. You know, it's going to slow down transactions at a point in time that our economy can ill afford it.
The Barbados Revenue Authority is due to meet with the Bankers Association next Tuesday in an effort to address the concerns. In other news, the Royal Barbados Police Force is putting rally spectators on notice. With action leading up to the Sol Rally Barbados revving up this weekend, officers say they will be on high alert at various points on the route to and from Bushy Park Racetrack in St. Philip. This is the first major racing event since a 5-car smash-up claimed the life of a policeman. And while acting Superintendent of Police, Ronald Stanford would not link the speeding on the island's roads to the racing events, he said such occurrences were happening too often to be considered mere coincidence.
I can't say that it has been a finding because it has not been really been researched, but there has been some hint of it, that when persons go to the meets, these racing meets or sporting meets involving motor vehicles, they tend to be aggressive when they return to the road. We have in most cases been deploying personnel, police officers on the roads leading from these events in an effort to calm that sort of driving. We will continue to do it and hope that along with our approach and with the campaign that we will see a reduction in that activity.
The start of the 2017 hurricane season is 5 days away, and experts say the Atlantic Ocean could see another above-average season. U.S. forecasters are predicting 11 to 17 big storms. 5 to 10 of those storms could become hurricanes with winds of 74 miles per hour or higher. 2 to 4 hurricanes are expected to be major, meaning Category 3 or higher, with winds of 111 miles per hour or more. Now, the hurricane season runs from June 1 through to November 30. In sports, it was the turn of Ronald Weeks Primary to shine on the court in the National Sports Council Pine Hill Dairy-sponsored primary school netball competition yesterday. Playing at the King George V Memorial Park, they were victorious 6-1 against St. John Primary and 3-1 over Gordon Walters Primary. In the other game, St. John Primary also fell to St. Catherine's Primary 3-1, while Hildeskin Primary had reason to smile when they took on St. Martin's Mangrove Primary and defeated them 4-1. However, St. Martin's Mangrove did not leave empty-handed, as they handed Gordon Walters their second loss of the day with a 2-1 win.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
The Deputy Commonwealth Secretary-General, Deodat Maharaj, says he is concerned that the Caribbean has not yet established a solid presence on the global trade market. Maharaj addressed the issue in Barbados this week at a meeting of various international organizations. According to him, the region accounted for less than half of 1% of world trade in 2013, a decline of the figures for 2009.
And if you take away Trinidad and Tobago, the oil and gas producer, the Caribbean now only accounts for around 0.24 or less than 1/4% of world trade. So it's a time, for us to take stock and come to a view that we really need a cogent and compelling vision for the Caribbean we want by 2050. I think there are immense challenges. But if as a Caribbean people we work together, we can seize the opportunities that come up.
On the international front, reports out of the United States say President Donald Trump's son-in-law and senior advisor, Jared Kushner, is under FBI scrutiny as part of the Russia investigation. Investigators believe he has significant information relevant to the inquiry.
The Washington Post and NBC News reporting moments ago.
There's almost no one closer to the president in the White House than him. He's the president's son-in-law. He's kind of the key person on a lot of their interactions with foreign countries. So this is big news. Now, I should sort of clarify that we're not saying that he is going to be charged with a crime. We're not saying he is the target of the investigation. They're certainly looking at Paul Manafort and Mike Flynn.
Close to the president is a significant focus of the Russia investigation.
And that's news, but there is more on our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals and screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Or you can tune in to Mix 96.9 FM for the very latest. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good morning.